What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Closers Lab. I'm Max Jimenez, your host of the Closers Lab. Sorry for starting a little late here. We had some technical difficulties, but we are live. Guys, I want to remind you this is a live show, guys and gals. Excuse me. This is a live show, so ask your questions, comment, bring your challenges. What's going on in your world with the appointments, with everything that you have, sales challenges. I want you to bring it here today. Man, we have some of you already here jumped on. I'm excited today to bring it. I'm excited today to talk about sales. What day is not a good day to talk about sales? You know, for those of you guys and gals, for everyone that's in sales, you know, I know that it's a grind. I know that it's hard, it's difficult it's a difficult mental game, right? And so one thing that helps me to get excited about, about tackling the day, getting on the phone calls is doing the behaviors. That's one thing is you got to make sure it's almost like a morning routine, but for sales specifically. And so, I've talked about that many times and you can go back and listen to some videos. I'm not going to get into it. And so basically it's a, what is it called? It's exciting when you do the behaviors, when you see the day, right? Jim Rohn, one of my mentors. If you don't know who Jim Rohn, Rohn, not Jim Rome from ESPN that beat up his wife. We're talking about Jim Rohn, Rohn. He said that you can't start your month until you have your week ready. You can't start your week until you have your day ready. And you can't start your day until you have your morning ready. So again, knowing the outcome you want for the day from your call block. And I've talked about the spirit a lot of times, but I think some of you guys needed to hear that. But let's go. Let's go. Abraham, what up, brother? I know you're back. You're back, bro. Where you been at, bro? You've been hiding somewhere. And I was wondering, I actually was thinking about you last week. I was like, man, Abraham hasn't been on the show. So thank you. Sebastian, what's up, baby? Let's go. Rafael, appreciate the fire emojis, man. Thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it. Abraham, let's go. Everything's good, bro. What's up with you? Let's see. Ashraf said, hey, Max, I've been trying to reach you. If you have a CC job vacancy, please, I'd love to join you. All right. I don't know where, maybe, you know what happens a lot of times when you guys send messages, if I'm not like, if we're not friends or I'm not following you or you're not following me and you send me a message, what happens a lot of times is that it will actually go to spam and then I don't see them till like a week later. So I do apologize about that. Into like a spam folder. I don't know why Instagram does that, but I'm definitely going to check that and then I'll hit you up to see where we're at on that. I really appreciate the outreach. Rafael says, my first time here. Let's go, baby. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for being on the show. Everyone, this is a live show. Share this with someone. Share this with a friend of yours, someone who sucks at sales. Listen, I don't care. Like, if they suck at sales, they'll learn something here. I've gotten so many DMs. Again, let me back up here a little bit. Even if they suck at sales, but they want to learn, they're going to get better by watching this show. I'm telling you right now. I get so many DMs from people that are just starting out, people that are basically starting out in their sales career, whatever that is, guys. It's not even about real estate. Like, we mainly focus on acquisition part. We focus on talking to sellers that are selling properties, but I've gotten messages where they're using this stuff in other industries, right? They're using this stuff in concrete sales. They're using this stuff in electrical sales. They're using this stuff in, mortgages and loans and stuff. And I've heard it so many times where people are actually are basically telling me that they're having success. And I'm like, what do you do for a living? And it's like, it's not even real estate. And this is where I take pride in, as far as like, I love what I do. I have passion for it. And it's not just for real estate. So Abraham says, no, brother, I'm working hard now with mortgage and wholesaling as well. I love the grind, bro. He said, yeah, I tried to reach you on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know, bro. It's weird how that happens, but I'll definitely look out for your message. So you're welcome. Derek says, my first time catching you live. Been watching all the recordings. Let's go, Derek. I appreciate you, bro, for being on. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, with all the fire emojis, seems like you're getting value from the recordings and you're going to get value today. Today, we're going to call some California leads. Let's go, baby, California. Where you guys tuning in from? Represent where you're tuning in from. Represent your city, represent your state, whatever you want to put in that comment section. Let's do it. Justin said, hola, mijo. ¿Cómo estás, mijo, tú? Mark B says, hello, Max and everyone. I love the tenacity from you guys this morning, man. You guys are on it. Yep. Derek says, yes, sir. Let's see. Guys, I need people to squad up with. I'm taking action. Let's go. Do it. Squad up in the comment section. Reach out. Rafael says he's from Tulare County, California, I'm assuming. We have Jared out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Derek out of Tulsa, Oklahoma in the house. Tulsa in the house. We were in Oklahoma for a while there last year. Abraham, Long Island, Nuevo York in the house. New York, Texas. Man, the Texas people always run deep in here, man. I got nothing but love for Texas. Actually, I will be in San Antonio, Texas next week. So if you're going to be at the Wholesaling Live event next week, come say hello, say what's up. Armando's in North Carolina market. Armando, reach out to us. We actually are doing business in North Carolina. We're buying houses out there. So I want to, let's connect, let's network. Eduardo is in Fresno, California as well. So Justin says, watching from St. Lucia. Let's go, Justin. I appreciate it, man. All right. Before I jump on the calls, because I want to get some conversations going today. I have a really good list that I want to hit on that a friend of mine sent to me. Guys, if you have not sent your leads in for me to call on, you're more than welcome to. I got in the description of this video, there is a link where you can submit your lead and for me to call on and for me to talk to your sellers here live. And then also once the live goes away, we're definitely I got somebody that's gonna come behind me and call them, follow up. So we're not just calling them live to try to close them. And so basically, we want to follow up with those leads. But before I get to the calls, I have a huge announcement to make. You know that I don't have courses. I don't try to sell you anything. I don't have a mentorship that I do once a month. But what I do have is basically a masterclass that I do probably 3 times a year. I've done it once this year. I'm going to do it again because it's been requested. People want it. People are talking about it. I'm all about the business. I want to do, I love getting deals. I love going out there talking to sellers, but I've gotten to the point where people are reaching out like, Max, when are you going to offer a course? When are you going to do this? I don't want to offer a course. I don't want to sell anything, but I do have my masterclass, right? I want to, I put that together probably back in, I want to say June or May. And so I just want to show you guys, and I'm going to talk about this, right? And I'm going to talk about this, I'm not trying to convince anyone to come on. You guys, I heard me. I don't have nothing to sell you. I don't want this to be a pitch fest here, but because my viewers have reached out to me and have said, Max, where can we learn more of these strategies and tactics? I am going to have a masterclass September 21st. Here's what I'm going to say first. This is what I told the last group, and I vetted them really well. I said, look, if you're just, at the end of the day, this channel and the recordings is enough for you to go and get action. Don't spend the money. Don't invest yet if you're not ready. Listen, I was there too as well. Like, I get it, right? If I'm in a position where I can't invest yet, that's not what I want. If you're wanting to get success and you're wanting to get better, I can absolutely guarantee you and show you DMs, show you comments, show you the emails I get, the messages, everything of how many people have gotten deals just from the YouTube live, just from YouTube and the videos that are on there. Amount after one after another, how much has helped, how much different conversations people are having. But at some point, I always say this is, if you want to have a structure and a system, if you're ready for that, then you're probably going to have to invest in yourself, right? How to structure that system. And so that's what the masterclass provides. On this, like I said, on my YouTube channel, you have more than enough to be able to go out there and execute and get deals, talk to sellers, negotiate deals. But when it comes to structure, that's a different story, right? How to have a sales system, a sales structure. And I basically want to show you guys here what that's going to look like really quick. Let me show you my screen really quick. So I don't know why it looks so small, but let me zoom in. Here we go. All right. So when is the masterclass, right? The Closers Lab system. That's what we call it. So it's going to start September 21st. It's 3 weeks. It's broken up by 3 weeks. Each class will be 2 hours long, right? And so the first one starts September 21st. And they're going to run, they start at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's out of everybody that I asked, like, what is the number one, what's the best time? And we kind of fluctuated between East Coast, Central Time, and then West Coast. And so we figured that would work. So we got 3 master classes, September 21st, 28th, and October 5th, right? 2 hours long. I'm going to show you what we're going to cover right now in that master class. But here's the cool thing is that during those 3 weeks, and you can ask anyone that was in that master class, the last one, is you're going to have access to me during the 3 weeks to help you implement the system at no extra charge at all. Like, I'm not charging you for you to book a call with me. You have limited access through Calendly. As long as you book it through Calendly, we get on a call. We'll figure out we'll help you with the appointment. On top of that, if you need help for me to call your seller, just like I do here, you can definitely do that. So that's at no charge to you. I'm not, again, you just pay for the masterclass. That's all. And then you have full access to me throughout those 3 weeks. And then we have a Discord channel that we communicated. The community's there. We can all help you out. And then basically, again, I'm going to be available for you during the 3 weeks. I can tell you the last one, they took advantage of this quite a bit. I was pretty booked, but I was available for everybody. So there's going to be very limited seating. Now, I know a lot of people say this because, and then they say, well, we opened up more seats. I don't want 100 people to have access to me. I don't want that. I want to keep it very small, intimate. So I want to make sure that you understand I'm going to close it out at some point. Recordings will be provided, and then you'll get access to the Closers Lab Facebook group. So you can basically, again, it's a 3-week masterclass. This is not a one-day workshop. Because I believe, let me go back to this. In a one-day workshop, the questions never happen in the workshop. They always happen in the, what is it called? After you leave the workshop. So that's why I did this. I spread it out by 3 weeks because I want to answer your questions. I want to help you. I want to basically let you have access to me so you're able to implement the system. And then that way, any questions that you might have that might come up, I'll answer them for you. So let's talk about the first week. What are we going to talk about? What's the agenda for the first week? We're going to get into the first thing that you guys have already heard me say this is we need to rewire ourselves to think differently. So I'm going to do a presentation on what is a closer's mindset. And it's not just rah and like positive, affirmations. It's none of that. It's actually applicable implementation things that you can do on a single day. Like I started the call today. I said today that you should always be excited to get on the calls, but the reason why a lot of people aren't excited is because they don't do the behaviors, right? They don't do this. That's what I'm going to show you on that. The closer's mindset. It's not about rah. It's not about positive thinking. It's not about positive affirmation. It's actually actionable items that you're going to be able to do and implement. And then we're going to talk about why the importance of why build the system. Why do you need to have a sales system? And then we're going to talk about sales appointment etiquette and get into some Q&A. That's the first week. It's like jam-packed, like closer's mindset, why build the sales system, the importance of it as well. And then I'm going to talk about the sales appointment etiquette, things that you got to have, you got to do, you got to be able to realize you can't just wing it, go to a sales appointment or have a sales appointment over the phone. We're going to talk about that. Week number 2, we get into some more advanced negotiation strategies. We get into advanced bonding and report. We get into advanced agreements, and then advanced communications. That's where we talk about some of the reversing statements, some of the I call it communication, advanced communication, because this is where we're going to talk a lot about the strategies that you can use to help you position yourself a lot better into bonding and report. Is actually really good because we talk about how we talk about mirroring, tonality. What makes you better? Advanced agreements. That one is one of my favorite ones because I'm going to teach you how to create advanced agreements before you move on in each compartment as you move the seller down the pipeline, right? Down the script, how you create advanced agreement. And then week 3, we're going to get into some more advanced negotiation strategies, which is third-party selling. Which has helped me out quite a bit. how to do third-party selling, and then how to extract price and timeline, right? And then one of my other favorite ones is next steps. I'm going to teach you guys what do you do after you get the contract, which is next steps. Because again, it's very important that you understand what to do after you get the agreement. Most of us, what we do is we go and open up escrow, which is the right thing to do. But I'm going to show you a couple things. I'm going to play a video. There's going to be some live calls that you're going to hear from me. This is not just me talking, but this is the full 3 weeks. Like I break down the whole system of what I use here on the Closers Lab, right? Again, week 1, we're going to get into the importance of a sales system. We're going to get into the closer's mindset. Again, no rah-rah, no positive thinking here, no positive affirmation. We're not talking about hanging up positive quotes around you. We're talking about actionable items that you can do to help translate from having that right mindset when you approach the calls. Second thing is we're going to talk about why do you need a sales system? Why build one? And like I said, sales appointment etiquette. Week 2, more advanced stuff. Week 3, we're going to get into some advanced negotiations. So again, this starts, the first class is going to start September 21st. We got a couple people already signed up, which I'm very excited. But if you want to sign up, send me a DM to Real Max Jimenez. I'm actually going to have the link. I'm going to put the link right now into in the comment section here with you guys. Let me see if I can pull that up. But do you guys have any questions on that? If you do, also, actually, don't have to ask them today. But I do have a Zoom in this link that I'm going to put on here for you. I do have a link that you can book a Zoom call with me, so you can ask all the questions, all your concerns. I want to answer them. I want to make sure that you basically are getting everything answered before you make a decision. Again, this is not for everyone. I'm not here to convince you of anything. Whether you sign up or not, that's fine. The thing that I want to say is that you can get help and you can go execute a lot of the stuff that I leave here on, that I talk about here on YouTube. You can actually go execute it and have success with it. But at some point, you want to get better. You want to make sure that you have a system that you follow consistently day in and day out, so you're able to have success, repeatable. I know, like I said, I know a lot of people that have had great success when it comes to basically just watching the YouTube channel. That's just another way for you to get better. So the other thing I'm going to say is this, is if you're saying like, Max, I want to be part of that masterclass because I know that it's going to help me. But if you don't want to put the work in, don't even sign up. Like, don't even sign up. Commitment to me is more than just monetary. Like I feel honored that people want to commit to getting better, but just paying to get better, that doesn't work. Like, you need to put in the work. You have to put in the work. Right. And we usually see that right away. And like I said, last time I probably turned away like 5 or 7 people because we had a conversation. But I put the link in the comment section. For you guys that are on Facebook, you're going to have to go to YouTube. There, for some reason, Facebook doesn't allow me to, unless I go to Facebook, and I just don't have time to do that. But you can shoot me a DM. The link's on YouTube. If you want to book a call, there's a Calendly link in there if you have any questions. But that's it. That's the announcement I wanted to make. The intensive masterclass is going to happen September 21st. So I want to invite you to go sign up, man. 3-week intensive virtual masterclass. It's virtual. It's not in person, so it's all done through Zoom. You'll get all the recordings, and I'm super excited. Gabe here attended my masterclass. He said, the masterclass helped my game a lot, changed my whole perspective, and then I locked up the deal with the techniques that I learned in the class. I can tell you, just like Gabe, there was people the next day that were locking up deals. And it's not necessarily like you're going to change your whole game, right? You're going to change everything that you do. That's not what I'm here to do. Most sales trainings want to do that. What I want to do is help you to improve upon what you're already doing and tweak some of the things that you're doing now, right? So again, that's the announcement I want to make. This is, if you do click on the link, let me share this with you really quick. One more thing. So if you do click on the link, so right here, you can click enroll now, or if you have any questions, you can book a call with me. The other thing too, if you click here where it says check out what others have said about the 3-day intensive masterclass, there's a bunch of testimonials in there. You can go check out what people are saying about it. But yeah, definitely if you're considering taking your game to the next level, man, by all means take advantage of that. So Josh says, "Hi Max, love the info. You're the one guy. Keep returning to help me close more deals. I appreciate it, Josh. Thank you, man. That means a lot, guys. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna be sound before I jump on the calls. I'm gonna turn on the dialer where I'm saying this. You have never, and I will never, you will never hear me say this, and I have never done this for my intention to be like Max, to portray like I'm one of the best closers, like, or Max is like the guy. I do this because I have passion for it. I give back. I've had people DM me and I've said this, I've shared the story with you, like wanting to, hey, let's battle. And I'm like, what kind of value do you provide for the community? Like, why would I want, you know what I mean? That's all I want to do. And this is why I do this, because I have passion for it. I let everyone else be the judge of everything else. My job today, my job on here is to help you, instruct you on getting better on talking to sellers. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I know a lot of times you'll hear a lot of people, oh, if you haven't seen me, I'm the best. There's no one like me. If you go and you follow someone else's system, blah 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 blah, my system's better. This that. Like, get a grip, bro. Let's provide Let's provide value to the community, and let's give back. And whatever that they decided to do, whatever you guys decide to do, it's up to you. And this is why I said this. Like, I'm not here to change everything you do. I'm here to help to improve upon what you're already doing. So I appreciate that, Josh. That means a lot, brother. Thank you. All right, let's fire this up. I want to talk to some sellers, get some deals locked up. And again, guys, this is a live show. Make comment, ask questions. I want you to participate. And let's see if we can talk to any people real quick. All right, let's see. Bring this up. All right, bear with me. Oh, by the way, we're closing a deal with Gabe too. So if you want to collab on a deal, don't hesitate to reach out. It's a $30,000 deal. So we're collabing with Gabe on it. Armando, we do everything, bro. We do creative, cash, creative. Just let me know. Let me know if you have a deal. We'll help you lock it up. We'll help you display it, whatever it is that you want, wherever you're at in the process. Here with Abraham in the office. Awesome, Jason. That's cool, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys for watching that, watching the show at the office. All right, we'll just let the dollar roll, and if someone picks up, we'll answer, and we'll hello. All right, so it looks like no one picked up. All right. Let's see. When you have finished recording, you may hang up. So we're gonna go to the next file. How many of you guys gonna be in San Antonio next week? Man, that event's gonna be really good. The wholesaling live event. If you're gonna be in San Antonio, can you put in the comment section? I'll see you there. It's gonna be great. I'm actually gonna be on stage doing calls. I just found out last week, which I'm excited about. It's gonna be myself, RJ Bates, a couple other guys that are gonna be on stage doing calls. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be a treat. So if I see you there, Eduardo said you're gonna be there. Perfect, bro. I'll see you there, man. It's gonna be a great event. I'm looking forward to it, which is cool. I've never seen an event like this where I've never been part of an event like this where the actual audience can potentially make money by. Hello, Armando. Oh, All right, so we got. Yeah, it's actually a really cool event where the audience actually gets to participate and make money. And so if you get a deal, they're going to split the deal with you 50-50. So it's crazy. And not only that, you get to learn, right? Like it's gonna be, like I said, there's gonna be some good closers, some really guys, some leaderships in the industry that provide value to the community. Guys that have been doing, that have been doing business for a while. So super excited for it. See, Gabe say collaboration over competition, make money together. I appreciate you and Ryan for helping me get the deal to the finish line. You're welcome, bro. That's what it's all about, right? Like, we all and by the way, today we found out that we're closing on the 13th, so we're good to go. They got all the paperwork. So we're gonna have a story about that one. Hello, April. Let me read down that. Yeah, so we're closing on the 13th next week, so it's all good to move forward. Yeah, it was a crazy deal. Like they couldn't find the and Gabe locked it up. Like he was part of the masterclass. He locked that deal up. Like he did all the negotiations, got the deep discount. So he just came to us and said, "Hey guys, I got a deal in North Carolina. Let's move it." So we're like, "Okay." So we found the buyer the same day. And so, but it was a weird deal because the owner bought it subject to. So the owner bought it subject to, and the payoff never got recorded, and then that lender went out of business or closed the doors. So we had a little hiccup there, but they said it was going to take more than 30 days, but it seems like they got it all figured out a lot sooner. So that we're grateful for that. So hello, April. All right, she don't want to talk, so we'll just move on to the next record. Juan says, "What can I do about not getting enough contacts per hour while on the dialer? I only talk to about one or two actual owners per hour. I hear some guys contacting 8 to 10 per hour. I use batch for skip tracing." Um, so there's all right. So let's break this down because there's quite a bit there. Let's start with the first one. What can I do about not getting enough contacts per hour while on the dialer? So that one can be a factor of a lot of things, right? It could be your data. Number one, we always want to look at the data, which you said you use batch for skip tracing. Number two, it could be your phone numbers. You might be calling too many people on the same phone numbers. One rule of thumb is to dial less than 100 numbers per day on one number. So if you're only using one caller ID, or let's say you're using whatever caller IDs you're using, and they're dialing more than 100 numbers, and they're dialing more than 100 numbers per day, then your number is going to come out as spam. Number three, numbers now are starting to come out as spam. I actually had a conversation with my friend Thomas Hayil about this 2 weeks ago. They're just now coming out as spam. I mean, the companies are recycling all these numbers, and it's getting tougher and tougher. So there it could be a combination of those things. As far as why you hear other guys talking to 8 to 10 people and only you talking to 1 to 2, it's probably because of those things, right? Just simple as that. Like you got to be checking your numbers. Try it out with yourself or someone that call them on that number. Number two is the data. For some reason, I try to skip trace with at least 2 companies so I can get a gauge of to see. I skip trace this one list with batch, and I skip trace another list with data IO, and I got more connection rates on the data IO. Does that mean batch is not good? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means they got better hits, right? Hello, Anthony. Hello? Huh. All right. Um, so I would test like do multiple tests, test out your data to see if maybe you're getting something different from someone else, because that also could be a problem. But I would say mostly focus on the numbers per dial. So you have to make sure that the numbers that you're using are not burnt out. Sometimes they won't even dial out. Like the carrier is going to block that number. So that's the other thing you have to make sure. If you're using it for follow up, I highly recommend register. Hello, Antonio. Hola, Antonio. ¿Habla español?
Sí.
Ah, ok, disculpe, mira, mi nombre es Max. Me estoy comunicando con usted porque parece que me mandaron su información que quería vender la propiedad en 2238 West Night Air, en Tucson.
No, incorrecto. No sé
Ah,
quién te lo mandó, pero es
no,
correcto.
no estaba pidiendo 305 por la propiedad.
No,
Ah, ok. Ah, bueno, pues a lo mejor tengo aquí el número mal. ¿Usted no es el Antonio del dueño de la West Night Air Lane?
sí, es mi casa, así es.
Oh, pero no la está vendiendo.
No lo estoy vendiendo, sí, es la renta de esa casa.
O la está rentando. Ah, ok. ¿Y no tiene otra propiedad que le gustaría vender?
No, no tengo.
Ok, que tenga buen día. Adiós.
Igual.
All right. So he said not interested. Yeah, I would say focus on the number. Derek actually says if your data is old and you have recycled it many times, could that cause that? Sometimes. Depends on, man, the carriers do their they do funky things, bro. Like sometimes they do. Yeah, it's really hard to keep up with what the carriers do. Um, and they won't let you dial that number anymore. That's why you have to have multiple. They're called DIDs, depending on what dialer. So if you use like call tool, you use batch dialer. If you're just calling like off your cell phone, right? It's you gotta update the phone numbers because. Hello, Anita. Hello. She hung up. I'm going to redial her because she said hello. So to me, that means we got disconnected. Going. Hello, Anita. Hmm. So going back to your concern about the data, it always comes down to the phone numbers that are dialing out, man. They get burnt so quick now. It wasn't like it was probably 2 years ago. You have to continually and consistently and relentlessly be changing phone numbers. That way you get a higher contact ratio. So again, just don't try to compare your contacts with other people, because they might be using a different system. They might be using something else. So just keep that in mind. Sebastian, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Sebastian actually was really hesitant to get on the masterclass. Like Sebastian's out of Canada, and hello, Anita.
Yes.
Oh, hi, Anita. My name is Max. I have your information here that you're considering selling at 1906 Minute Place.
Sir, that house already got sold
You already sold it? When do you close?
2 years ago.
Oh wow, they must have some bad information here. Should I fire the people that sent me this information?
Yeah. Okay. I'm at the hospital. I'm sorry.
Oh, got it. Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. So I guess we have some old information in here. Sold 2 years ago. So one thing that you notice before I get back to Sebastian's story, one thing you notice when someone tells me it's already sold, I don't assume that it's already recorded, or if they say it's already sold, or I'm already working with someone, or I already sold it. I always ask them, when do you close? Because what happens when you ask that question, and I said this on my top 10 objections and rebuttals the other day. If you haven't watched that, go watch that. It's amazing. My top 10 objections and rebuttals is basically what happens is that you throw them off guard. And if they didn't sell, they start to hesitate to have the conversation, or they'll kind of stutter, or they'll get like pattern interrupt. Because if it did sold, they'll have a date like, oh, I'm closing next Friday. If they didn't sell, they're gonna be like, like, I don't know. Well, how can you not know when you're gonna close if you already sold it? Like, you have to know when your closing date is. So it's always good to ask that question. Don't let them off the hook, even if they say, oh, it's already sold, or I'm already working with someone, or it's already under contract. Awesome, congratulations. When do you close? Let them correct me. She corrected me, right? Oh, that closed 2 years ago. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Even if they say, well, I close next week, I'm good with that as well. And then the thing that I don't. Hello, Anna. Hello, Anna. Hello. Now let's call her back. She hung up. Yeah. So always ask them. So when do you close? Because what's going to do? It's going to keep the conversation going. So, but Sebastian out of Canada was very hesitant to come to the masterclass. He's like, is this going to work here in Canada? Is this going? How does it work here? And I'm like, and I was honest with him, right, Sebastian? I said, I don't know. It might not. Who knows, right? Like, I didn't try to close them or sell them, but it was realistically, I knew it would work, right? Like, he's like, well, and he signed up, and obviously, as you can see, I mean, he's doing great work. And mind you, he can't pull list. He's calling for sell by owners. He's calling Craigslist leads. He's calling rental leads. Like, that's a grind. You guys here in America are spoiled. You guys here in America are spoiled. Let me tell you that. Let me say that again. You are spoiled. Sebastian has to call for sell by owners, rental leads, Craigslist, agent outreach, all that stuff. Like, he's got to grind. He's got to put in the work. But he's doing deals, right? He's doing deals. So, Gabe, I love this point that you made. I change my VA's numbers daily so we can get more contacts. That's what I'm saying. That's what you need to do. Exactly what you need to do in this market right now. Things are changing rapidly, not just in our business, but in general with the carriers and all that. Man, I love this. Thank you, Amado. I appreciate it, bro. The masterclass brings you to a different level in the game. Highly recommend it. Hello, Anna. Hello. Bueno, Ana. All right, so they don't want to talk, so I'll move on. I'll send you your check in the mail, Amador, for making this comment today. Okay. I'll get you paid, bro. Don't worry. I appreciate you for the comment, bro. No, I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking. No, it's Amador and his partner Jose. They were part of the masterclass, and that's their everyone that was on the masterclass. I can tell you, they were supposed to be there because these again, they watched the show, they took action on the show. They watched the show and they took action on what they learned from the show, and they were getting deals. They were already taking action. Like, I'm not here to say that I'm the one who created their success. I'm not saying that. But then what happens is, again, you get to a point where you need to have a structure and a system to follow. That's what takes you to the next level, right? You can continue to get deals, but as you grow, you need to have that system. And Amador and Jose, Gabe and Sebastian and other people that you saw in here, like, they did that, and they did. Those guys are crushing it. They're doing deals, and again, it's not because, hey, I was I was glad that I was part of that journey. They were already doing deals, they were already having some success, but they wanted to improve upon what they were already doing. So I appreciate that that comment, Amador, that how much the masterclass has helped you guys to and help your business to level up. So going back to this, Juan, pay attention to this because I think this is really important, man. I think I mean that's being really aggressive, but that's why he gets his contact ratio. I can tell you last week, Gabe, what you pulled in 11 leads from from what you told me. I think it was right from one list, one qualified, which is fine, but it was just on one list of like a thousand numbers. That's crazy to pull 11 lists from 1,000 numbers, but you can see why, because he's very aggressive when it comes to updating the numbers consistently, right? You have to do that. You have to make sure that you're doing that consistently, or else you're not going to talk to anybody. You're going to have a hard time. You're going to get a lot of no answers. Again, your number could just be blocked. It looks like it's dialing on your end, but that doesn't mean the carriers are letting that number go through on anybody's phone. Maybe on some carriers, because obviously one carrier can block every other carrier's calls from coming in. But this is what Gabe is doing to be able to compete, to be able to help. Guy, like I said, he generated from one list. Hello, Andrew.
Hello. Calls to this number are being screened by Smart Call Blocker.
Sure, there's no address on here.
After the tone, then press pound.
All right, we'll go to the next one.
Hello. Calls to this number are being screened by Smart Call Blocker. Please say your name after the tone, then press pound.
Max.
Please wait a moment while your call is connected.
That's really weird. All right. Well, guess we got nothing. Nobody's answering today, man. California people are on island time, out surfing probably. What other questions you guys might have while we have the dialer going here? Any other questions? Anything you got going on? Any appointments you have coming up? Let's see. Let me see something really quick. By the way, have you guys all watched the top 10? I just mentioned it a little bit earlier. Have you watched the top 10 objections and rebuttal video? I highly recommend it if you haven't. You want to make sure that that you go and watch that, because basically it's like real life, right? Objections and rebuttals that we get throughout our calls, through our prospecting, so that way it helps you to overcome those, right? And I break down like how to approach the rebuttals, how to use them. Hello, Anna. Hello. Bueno. It's kind of strange. I'm going to redial. Something's going on. I don't know. Maybe I need to update my number. Eduardo said, I am doing follow-ups in California so far. I just talked to one person. Okay. So maybe we're experiencing the same thing. Dennis said, I watched and printed out the rebuttals. Okay, got it. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at my screen over here. If you have not watched that video, man, I highly recommend it. And I gave away the top 10 objections. I actually gave it to you for free. Again, because I don't anyways have anything to sell. I don't have a course or anything like that. I'm not here to sell you anything, but it's the only reason why the masterclass is being created is because you all of you have requested it. Like, I've gotten so many messages, so I said, let's put some together. Obviously, time's valuable, so Dennis said, I just jumped in. What are the details on the masterclass? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link one more time for the masterclass, so that way you can get the details on it. And then there is a video that you can watch on there. There's also a link that you can book a call on with, and then that way you can jump on and we can talk. So Mateo said, late to the show. Definitely Max's masterclass helped me to elevate my game and my approach on the phone with sellers. Highly recommend it to anyone. I appreciate you, Mateo. Again, Mateo's another person that has had success in the past. He's done deals, but you can, again, I'm going to say this on my YouTube channel. You can take the information that you don't have to pay. You don't have to invest on the masterclass. Like, I'm not here to convince you to join the masterclass. You just need to watch all these the YouTube channels that I have. I actually I got a DM. Let me see if I can find it really quick. While we're dialing, obviously we're not dialing anybody. California people, come on. Let me see the DM here. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Where is it at? Okay. Here we go. So I got a DM this morning, says, Max, I've been watching a bunch of your videos since you told me yesterday about your channel. I'm probably like 6 hours into the content in the last 24 hours, especially on those live calls. He said, thank you for doing that. I'm already feeling more confident on that. That's it, right? So you go and watch all those recordings, and you're gonna feel better. You're gonna get something out of it. And like I said earlier, right? Like, in the masterclass is more for you to go to the next level, like Amador said, right? It's to take you to the next level if you want to have structure, if you want to have a system to follow, if you want to stop winging it, right? And so on this new one that Amador, Mateo, Gabe, Sebastian were part of, I'm adding something new. The closer's mindset, that's something new. And then also I'm going to add a what is it called, something to the advance agreement that I didn't have on there the last time. So so you guys so yeah, I put, all right, so no answer on that. But yeah, I put the link in there if you guys want more information. There's you can definitely book a call with me. There's a Zoom link there in case you want to book a call. So in case you have any questions, again, it's going to be very limited. I know a lot of people say that. It sounds very, I almost feel weird saying that, like it's going to be very limited seating. But you can ask any of these guys, Sebastian, Mateo, Gabe, who else? Amador. Ask them. You can ask them a question here. How big the masterclass was. I don't want to be available for 100 people. I can tell you that right now. I'm busy running my own business while I'm doing this to give back. So very limited seating. And so it was a really small, intimate class. And we all helped each other out. Like, the Discord channel was on fire. Like, guys, I got a deal. Hey, what can I do in this situation? And again, we have people that are doing the business, so they were able to have an input. And then again, you were able to book calls with me, and we talked a lot more. Sebastian everybody on that call took advantage of it. Like, we talked a lot more about themselves, how to structure, how to manage, what books to read. We gave them books, KPIs, it went far and beyond than what I originally had said what we were gonna do. So, but that's the details, Dennis. Again, there's more details on that link. That way you can break it down. So, man, what's happening today? Nobody wants to talk. Maybe I need to switch list. I'm gonna switch list. Hello, Alvin. Hello. Let me try another list. I need to have some conversations. Let's see. I'm gonna hang up. let's try another list because that list is not performing for me. So I'll try this one. Perfect. 59 records, 60 records. All right, let me dial this again.
Using your touchdown phone, please enter your PIN
All right, perfect.
on your screen to begin calling.
Let's go. I know everyone comes on here for the calls, and I want to do calls.
Please leave your message for.
And so, but again, this is a live show, guys. Like, this is real life, right? You heard somebody said right now, I only talked to one person. Like, we're not immune to having this type of results, right? Like when we're trying to get a hold of people. This is the follow-up game. That's all it is. It's a consistent game. And this is why I said earlier when I first started the show is that you got to get how can you get excited about this? What you're doing right now if you don't do the morning behaviors. That's what we're going to talk about on closer's mindset, right? Having that closer's mindset. We're going to talk about that in the masterclass. Again, not just rah, not just positive affirmation, none of that. It's going to be actual, tangible, applicable items that you can do every single day to wake up with enthusiasm and want to get on the phone. So, because this is what we go through, right? We dial and we try to get a hold of people, and it happens.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up.
Okay, let's see. Hello, may I speak with Evan?
Who is this?
Oh, hey, Evan, my name is Max. I'm calling you because you had spoken to one of my partners, said you might be considering selling 1213 East Becker Lane.
Oh yeah, which partner?
That's what I was, I knew you were going to ask me that. I don't have a name on here.
Bullshit. Take the name off the list. It's on do not call list. You don't even have the right number.
So how did you know to ask for a partner if you didn't talk to anybody? That's what I'm confused.
What? Because you're BSing me. Take the name off the list. You don't even have the right number.
Well, that's all you have to say, and I can take you off. Sounds good. Bye. Get rowdy with me, boy. Let's see. Yeah, some sellers would do that, right? They're like, I didn't talk to anybody. What do you mean? But he knew how to ask the question, right?
Please leave your message for.
So no contact on there. Yeah, going back to what I was saying, like I know that a lot of us get on here for the calls, but this is real life. Like I said, sometimes we get contact, sometimes we don't. It's always going to be somewhat of a hit and miss when it comes to dialing out, especially on the lives. Something that we have to make sure that we're conscious of that. Let's Quiet in the comment section today. Everybody's crushing it. There's no questions. Nobody's running into obstacles. Man. Usually I get a lot of questions of people on that the last one. I got a ton of questions to be able to help a lot of people. Roberto. Wow, this one's not connecting with anyone right now. Josh says, I'm dialing and not getting anyone to pick up either. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's just one of those days, I guess. I don't know. No. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about. All right. Let's talk a little bit about, because we're not connecting with a lot of people. Nathaniel said Friday Eve vibes already on break. Yeah, no, it happens. Like it's sometimes that's why when people ask me like, what is the best time to call prospects? And I always tell them like, there's really, if you look at it, you look back like when you got all your deals, your times are going to be up and down, right? Are there certain times where you can have like a higher percentage? Absolutely. Like maybe in the afternoon when people are off work. But one thing that you have to realize is everyone has a cell phone now, right? Schedules are different. Some people work from home. So I would never let any of that kind of stop you or put a mental block like I need a call at this time. But there are some times that are going to be higher. Excuse me. You're going to get higher contact activity. But that doesn't mean that you should be, not calling like right now, right? That's okay, because you might catch someone that those people aren't calling. It's all timing. That's really what it is. It's all timing. It's all relevant to, the time that you call and you get a hold of somebody. You never know when you're going to get a hold of that person. And again, I'm gonna give you guys 3 things that you should probably, before I sign off here, because we weren't able to get a hold of anyone, but hopefully, what we talk about here can bring some value for being on here to hold on. One thing I said, and I've said this before, when you're dialing, right? I know that there's a lot of people that focus on how many dials they do per day, how many contacts we have per day, and then talk time. I don't know why that is. I get the importance of it, but as far as making it a goal and making it a something visual, to a goal to hit, that's where I kind of draw the line a little bit on that, because I'm a big believer that, especially if you want to get to a higher level, let's say this. So you're going to make you're going to make a goal to hit 500 dials in this 2 hour of block time, right? And so your goal for that 2 hour block time is to do 500 dials. What happens psychologically is you set yourself up to look at the dials that you're making so you can get to that goal of 500 dials. Now, not all of you, not every one of you, but some of you that are still new and some of you that are maybe struggling a little bit, this can happen. This definitely can happen. So now you focus so much on getting through the dials and getting through that 2 hours of block that you blocked out for cold calling, that once you hit that goal, once you hit that 500 dials, once you hit that 2 hours or 3 hours that you time block, you actually feel pretty good about it. But then when you go back and you look at your results, you feel pretty crappy about it, because you're like, I did all this talk time, I did all this dials, and I blocked out 3 hours and I only generated 1 prospect or no prospects. Correct? So what I did was, and it was something I did recently because I feel like that shouldn't be the focus. The focus should be is what outcome do I want from this 3 hour of block time? What outcome do I want from this, from this call session, right? From the 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever it is. And what should you go to, which is the high level key performing indicators, your high level KPIs, which is generate prospects, um, you know, having conversations, and basically booking future sales appointments, whether that's in person or over the phone. So you say, well, Max, isn't that what talk time is? Isn't that what, isn't that why we have to do the dials? Of course, those are important, but that shouldn't be the focus and shouldn't be the goal. So this is how to kind of explain this and paint the picture for you. Max is going to wake up today. He's going to have a 3 hour block time. And in that 3 hour block time, I want 10 conversations. Out of that 10 conversations, I am going to generate 3 prospects. Out of those 3 prospects, I am going to get 1 sales appointment, whether it's on the phone or whether it's in person. Now, imagine how much more you would attack those phone calls if you took away the dials and you took away the hours out of the way. And I'm going to do it whether it takes me 500 dials or 700 dials. That is my goal for those 3 hours. I don't care what's in my way. I need to have 10 conversations. Out of that 10 conversations, I'm going to generate 3 prospects. And out of those 3 prospects, I'm going to have 1 qualified lead that I'm going to have a sales appointment with. Or the sales appointment could be on that same call. You don't know. Now, the mindset's a lot different now because you're focusing on what's important, results, the results, right? So that's why I'm opposed a little bit to, yes, the talk time is important. Yes, the dials are important, because if you're dialing 1,000 leads and you're having no conversation, then that means your numbers are jacked up, right? Your numbers are bad. Your data is bad. You want to pay attention to those things for the quality for that. If you're dialing 500 numbers and you're not talking to anyone, so now you got to say, okay, well, maybe my numbers are messed up. That's why you have to have that's why that's important to look at, to see what your connection rate is, to see why you're not talking to anyone, because you need to make sure you fix that. But when it comes to the goals that you have for that time, for me, that's where I draw the line and say, okay, that's not what I should focus on. I want to focus on having, in those 3 hours of that I blocked out, for me, I'm going high level. I need to have 10 conversations. I want 30% conversion, right? 40% conversion. I want 3 to 4 prospects out of those conversations, which out of those 4, I want to put at least 50% of those into a follow-up. And then I want to have more in-depth conversations, whether that's booking a sales appointment or, again, on the phone or in person, it doesn't matter. Now you're just like, all right, that's my focus. I don't care if it takes me 100 dials or 800 dials, right? Whole different ball game, a whole different ball game. And that's just for prospecting. Now, when you go to, if you're closing, if you're negotiating, it's a whole different game as well, right? So focus on high-level KPIs, right? Again, conversations, sales appointments, how many sales appointments you completed, and then contracts. How many of those are you getting? Because now you can narrow down to where your breakdown is, right? I've had today I had 3 hours of talk time. About what? You have zero leads. You have 0 appointments. You have 0 contracts. What did you talk about for those 3 hours, right? What was it that you talked about? I don't care. Like, your talk time is irrelevant. Same thing, right? Acquisitions. You got to do about 70 dials. Like, it's important. It's not irrelevant. Excuse me. It's important to look at, because that means that if you're dialing and you're not talking to anybody, then there's something wrong with the dialer. So I'm just saying, want to give you that tip. It's my point of view as I think focusing on the results, the high level stuff when it comes to your prospecting, even on your follow-ups, right? Your high level follow-ups, focus on the high level key performing indicators. Pay attention to the dials, pay attention to the connection rate to make sure that your system is staying at a high quality, but don't make that your goal, if that makes sense. Derek says, I just got done cold calling for 3 hours with call tools. And I'm using call tools. The list was probate from 32121, pulled from PropStream, that I have recycled a few times. I have 20 DIDs. Perfect, bro. That's enough. I mean, if you could push it to 30, that's even better. But having that is actually good. Using 4 channels, the dialer dialed 2,085 numbers, and I got connected 51 times, no leads. That's a very low connection rate, 2.4, by the way. Anything that starts to slip under 6%, you want to stay like 7% and above. So you have to watch your data. You have to watch your numbers as well too. So, but again, you want to pay attention to those things because of this. Derek just kind of made the point here, right? He dialed 2,000 dials, only connected 51 numbers, so his connection rate is low. But again, the 2,000 dials should not be his goal. His goal should be more high level. I want to have 5 conversations. Why am I not having these 5 conversations out of 2,000 dials, right? Or whatever it is, that goal that you want. Now we look at it and we say, okay, well, maybe something's going on here because our connection rate is really low. So that's kind of how you teeter-totter both of those. But that's, Derek, that's a little low, by the way. You want to make sure you want to check on your numbers, your data, or potentially, especially because I think you said the data was from 32121. Are you sure it's 32121, not 22? Because that's over a year old, bud. Sebastian says, what are your thoughts on in-person versus virtual? We got used to doing everything virtually, but lately I've been wondering whether we are leaving money on the table if we have the option to go there. 100% you should go there if you could go there. Because in person, what they say on the phone, listen, in 2019, that's pretty much was my bread and butter. I was going to about 3 to 4 appointments every single day. I kid you not, every single day. Go to my Instagram. I have receipts. I was recording sellers. I was going 3 to 4 appointments a day. And what I can tell you from the things and Gabe's on here right now. Gabe will attest to that. He had a seller tell him, I want 800 or 750,000 or $800,000 on this house. And he went to the appointment and got him down to 615. That's over $100,000 difference, right? So what they say on the phone and what they say in person, it's night and day, and you're always going to get a deeper discount in person. Doug Hopkins, that's here locally, he goes to every single appointment, right? And it spreads. The guy's making 700,000 to $1 million a month, right? Because he's getting bigger, deeper discounts. Now, the other thing I want to add to this is, do you want to be more of a volume company or more of the what is it called? Higher spread company, right? For me, I want to be a higher spread company. Now we're doing a lot of virtual. That's going to be a little difficult for me. But if you're going to go, but locally, I want to go to the appointments, right? I want to be in front of the seller, but you're always going to have a better outcome and even deeper discounts if you go in person, no matter what. I'm going to tell you that right now. In 2019, we went to so many appointments, and again, what they say on the phone and what they do in person is a whole different ball game. It's night and day. I would say try to even it out. I mean, here's the way I look at it. If I have a prospect that I'm talking to on the phone and I sense, because you have to be conscious of the conversation. We don't convince, we sift. We don't convince, we try to disqualify. If you're getting a sense that this person would feel more comfortable in person, man, book the appointment. Don't force the sale. Book the appointment. You have to understand the conversation, right? And you'll hear certain things. You'll hear certain things like, aren't you going to come look at the property? Well, aren't you going to do this? Or, you'll hear certain red flags that start to go off when they want you to come in person. But if you can lock it up over the phone, like, do it. Lock it up over the phone. You know what I mean? Like, don't limit yourself to one or the other. I'm just saying you are going to get higher spreads if you go in person for sure. That's undeniable. So hopefully that helps, Sebastian, to kind of clear that up for you. Derek says, I think the data may be old. Yeah, I think so too, brother. Yeah, it's definitely old if it's from 2021. You got to update your data, brother. I have some fresh data in Oklahoma City and that I dialed on last week, and my connection rate was just under 6%. Yeah, I mean, it's again, if you can keep it at 7%, 6% is you're starting to dip into that low part. Obviously, you're still winning because a lot of people aren't even getting 5% right now. It's crazy. But again, like the comment that Gabe made earlier about changing your numbers, he's getting pretty aggressive on that, changing them every day. So cool, everyone. Great questions. I appreciate everyone for being on the show. We try to get some calls going. I got to pull better data probably too as well. I really appreciate everyone for being on here, and hopefully that last tip that I gave you about focusing on high level KPIs, just so you can hone down and really dig deep to get those results. Right? It's all this. We're in the results business, baby. We're not in the maybe this, like, in order for us to get paid, we got to get results, like, especially for what we do. And so hopefully everyone got some value, on that breakdown about the key performing indicators. And if you have any questions on the masterclass, there's a link that you can basically if there's a link that you can click, so you can book a call with me on a Zoom call, and I'll answer all your questions. And believe me, when you jump on the Zoom call, the last thing I'm going to do is try to sell you to join the masterclass. As simple as that. I'll answer all your questions, and I'll help you out. And if you want to make that decision and jump on, you can ask anyone that's jump on a call with me on the Zoom. That's not my style. Sebastian said, if you have questions or want to hear my experience with the masterclass, send him a DM. He goes, I vouch for this program any day. At Sebastian_Yania. So follow him on Instagram. The guy's doing some great things. He actually shares some of his experiences. He actually puts out his recordings as well too. So give him a follow on Instagram at Sebastian_Yania. So that way, if you do have any questions, you can ask him. So Derek, I appreciate you, bro, for being on the show. And then next week, don't miss Club Collab next Tuesday. We're having some great guests. We're doing some great things with it. And if you guys need help with the deal, there's a link below that says need help with the deal, collab with us. Collab with each other in the comment section. So that way you guys can can do some deals together. Juan, I really appreciate you for being on here. Thank you, sir. Rafael that says thank you for taking the time. Yeah, of course, man. No problem. You guys go crush it today, man. Don't let the set. Think about this. Last message before I jump off. Leave your emotions. I'm gonna leave you with this. Leave your emotions out of the sales call. Don't get more emotional than the prospect. Number one, do prospects get upset us the way they say? Yes. But they only do that because of all the other people that have called them in the past, that have interrupted them, that have lowballed them, that have never asked them questions, right? So you're having to overcome that. And think about this. The prospect has your money. They just don't know it yet. What you shouldn't do is stand in the way of that happening. And what you should do is figure out how you can get to the other side of that by taking your emotions out of the cell and just going through a qualification process. And I can tell you what's on this YouTube channel is going to help you with that. So with that being said, I really appreciate you, Philip. Shoot me a DM, bro. Let's do a deal. Or Philip Stone Investor, LLC. Shoot me a DM, and we'll do a deal together. You guys have an excellent Thursday and a great weekend. Let me know if you guys need anything. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.